Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing a unboxing and first impressions of the CRB Pro roller stand. For you guys in the rod building community, I guess if you like this company, you probably know that this just came out. I got it earlier today, so like I said, we're going to kind of open it up, see what comes in the box, see what they're all about, and then get it installed on one of their track systems and see how it cooperates with some of their other components like the power wrapper and obviously the track. So yeah, let's get this thing open. So boom. Professional grade tools for professional grade builders. A little card, little sticker, and that's what's in the box. We have the stand, two different size Allen keys. Let's see what this is. Probably like a little quick start guide. Roller stand, smooth and precise where it matters. Aircraft grade aluminum, quick adjust knobs. Probably everything you can see when you go to purchase it on Mudhole. Yeah, how to install on the RBS track. So we'll probably come back to that. So we got our two keys. I don't think you really need any tools to install it. I think those are just to maybe change the wheels out, or I guess you could technically buy different bearings for this thing. So got a little weight to it. Looks like everything is metal aside from these O-rings, and it does have rubber. Oh, that is removable. You see that? So it's basically just an O-ring over this metal. That's pretty cool. Let me get a closer shot of this thing. Some focus. Cool. So you see that? You can see there's a screw, so you can remove each wheel, change the bearings. Or say you did something crazy, you bend the wheel, you can replace it. And then we have an O-ring. That's what makes up this rubber on the outside. That's pretty cool. The quick adjusts. Little guides for the T-track. And everything's metal. I'm not sure if everything's aluminum, but I would imagine it all is, because it's fairly light, but obviously it's metal, so it has a little bit of heft to it. Let's go back down here. Let's see, that looks like it's everything in the box. So that's basically it for that, guys. Let's get the track out and see how the installation goes. Alright, ladies and gents, so we're back. We have the track out here. I got the power wrapper over to my left. It's not really in the frame. So, nothing too crazy. We have the little T-bolts. You want to obviously put them, as you can see, there's a line here and a line below. Align them up with the channel so that they can drop into the channel of here. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the system. Once they're in, you can kind of push down and then just tighten them, and they'll cam, and then they'll basically get stuck down in there, and you'll be good to go. So we're going to do that. So you can see it's flush now, so it dropped into its slot. So we'll just tighten the right side first. You'll feel the bolt kind of cam over, and now it's pretty tight. That bolt just cammed over, tightened down a few clicks. There are springs here, so it has a little bit of pushback. So now it's tight. I cannot move it off the track or left and right. It's on there, but what I have noticed is that, let's bring it in a little bit. So you guys can see, obviously the T-bolt passes through the base, so there's a hole there. That diameter of that hole is a decent amount bigger than the bolt itself, than the diameter of the bolt. So the system does have a tiny bit of play. You can see the wheels up here rocking just a little bit. It's not even a millimeter on each side, maybe half a millimeter or 3/4 of a millimeter around the bolt. So I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. It's definitely not going to go left or right, or like slide down your track without you wanting it to. But I'm not sure if that would be concerning for some people, or with people who have experience with other systems like the Alps. You can let me know how rigidly the stands, the roller stands attached to the track, and if there is something comparable to that, or if like the Alps setup is just totally rigid and there's no play whatsoever. I can't imagine it being a big deal, but I don't have tons of experience in this field, so you guys drop me a comment if you have an Alps or a similar system, with roller wheels like this, and let me know how it is. But all right, so I'm gonna grab a rod and we'll mount it in there, spin it up, and see how it works. All right, so we have a Turner's Californian rod sitting in here. This is a spinning rod. I have the power motor hooked up on the far left side, so I haven't done any adjustments to this thing yet. All I did was just set the rod in here. So ideally I would want to pick it up from the bottom about, I don't know, 1.5 inches. So we'll do that. So we have a top screw. That's just going to allow it to go up if you need to go up, or if you're going, say this height was fine, obviously you would use the top screw to kind of lock it into place. So with that one up and out of the way, this is our top screw. We can scoot the rod up with this bottom adjustment. So I'm not super familiar with the Alps, but I think it's kind of like almost like a little bit of a ratcheting system where you can kind of like move it with your hand and then it can kind of lock into place, or maybe the bottom is more refined and then the top kind of snaps in. But yeah, see, that looks pretty good, pretty even, maybe a little more. So you could say that's about where you want it. So now I could tighten this top one, lock that one in, and then we even have one below, so you kind of can lock in the bottom from both sides. So now that bottom ain't going nowhere. We'll spin it a little bit, see how our balance is. That's pretty good. The tip's staying pretty straight. So then now it would just be a matter of lowering the bottom adjustment of our top screw. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like spring compressors, but you kind of do the same thing for like the automotive. So if you notice, I've dropped this bottom screw and the actual wheel or arm that's attached to the wheel is still up there. So you just kind of give it a nice little push and it's going to drop down. So now we're making contact with the rod. So I'll actually pick it up a little bit. Maybe apply a little pressure. So right there I made contact, and I'll just snug up the top a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy on these because it's just that O-ring. So now if I hold the base, the rod is securely touching all 3 of the O-rings and there's really nowhere to go. So we can hit the wheel, hit the power rod, and boom, we're spinning. So at a normal speed, even that's ridiculous. The base isn't going anywhere. It takes a lot more speed for the base to kind of want to wobble out. Yep. We're still holding the rod well, but the base is definitely jumping. So yeah, these adjusters have actually come loose down here. I haven't totally clamped this thing down, like absolutely killed these quick adjustment knobs. Maybe that would get rid of that play, but I can't imagine you would need to get that crazy. But maybe I just feel the tension of the springs, and that's why I feel like it's not necessary to go that tight. And maybe that play would go away. But just based on how it's bolted down, I think they could have made the tolerances a little tighter for that bolt hole and for the bolt that's obviously passing through it. But other than that, it's very precise, like they said. Almost all these parts are physically replaceable. It's not like they're like riveted in and you're going to have to, in a sense, destroy it to get these parts out. But I don't know if the parts are available yet or if they will be in the future. But I definitely like the system compared to, I'm used to just like the standard V blocks, and if you are maybe not running too many of them, you kind of can get the rod to hop around a little bit. And it's also really beneficial that if you do make your own grips or shape your grips, you can hold the rod down really well, because obviously that would be one scenario where you are spinning the rod or the mandrel and the grip pretty fast, and this thing would be really beneficial. So I'll tinker with this thing a little bit more to see if there's anything I can do in terms of maybe adding a little bit of a spacer, like a little spacer in between that and that to help with the diameter. I don't think I could be able to swap out the screws because of how it's built, how the T-bolt is made. But I'll look into it a little more, see if there's anything about that on the product. But I'm definitely happy with this. I have another rod to finish up, and I specifically was waiting to finish that rod for this thing to come in. So we'll finish that thing up, and I can give you guys a little bit more feedback. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. It helps the channel a lot. And if you have any questions or if you have any info about the Alps or other setups that you would like to compare those setups that you have to this one, go ahead and let me know. Thanks.